Hello, how's it going, y'all? Soup Can Sam, thank you for the applause. Did you miss me? How do we sound? Let's start there. Let's start there. Oh, it's not awful. What is that? Oh, that's so gross. Are we even using the right mic? Hang on. Oh, I apologize for how I must sound right now. Oh, nothing like tech issues to get a stream started, am I right? What is happening? Is the game just like all the way up? How about how do we sound now? Okay, that's bearable. Okay, fine. Now that we just gotta fit angle a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. Hello everyone in the chat. Welcome to the Zelda timeline theory crafting video that was
voted for eons ago, it seems like, by you, the viewers. This is a different kind of stream, but I want to try it out. It's mostly just going to be me uh, sharing my theory of the timeline and all that entails, and hopefully we can salvage some audio and footage for the for making a video later. So let's get into it, shall we? Audio is sounding better when you first start. It was weird. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for being here and reporting on the sound quality. Let me know if it gets worse or if there's something I can do to make it better. Um, where are we recording to? Is the audio's balanced, right? Like the music to voice is good. Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? So, here we are on Nintendo's official website with the timeline as it is been given to us. Can I make that a little bigger? Just a wee bit. Okay. Guess everything just sounds a little quiet, which I guess is more on my side. Okay. We can adjust. Check 1 2 1 2 check. And do we want to turn up the music a little bit? Just a skosh? Maybe a scotch and a half? Yes? No? Maybe? So everything is better with 2 scoops of raisins in the morning? That actually is better. Okay, great. Wonderful. So, the timeline as outlined by Nintendo leaves things to be desired, shall we say. Everything is just held together with the thinnest of strings, and it all comes back to this game here, Mr. Skyward Sword, because there wasn't a timeline until Nintendo released this game, and then they're like, okay, well, we actually want things to have like a timeline and things to be connected and have an overarching story. And then they proceeded to do nothing about that. They released some books for you to buy and a map that looks something like this. How's that look? Yeah. Everyone's seen this in Hyrule Historia? I'm sure you have. We got these games, most importantly, Skyward Sword and Minish Cap Forward Swords, and then Ocarina Time. And then we have the famous split, because I don't know if you know this, people were making theory videos for a long time seeing if they could fit things together, and it didn't quite fit because they were like going on we're all, yes, you're familiar. Okay, good. People were making videos about or theories about the timeline, and it didn't quite fit as well because they were like doing singular timelines, and then Nintendo comes along and is like, no, there is like canonically a split with Ocarina of Time, and that's what we're gonna dive into, and not just because there's a remake coming out, but and we might talk about that too. I don't know how this stream is gonna go. It's gonna be mostly just talking and going. I don't know how long we're gonna go. I don't know how long we're gonna do this, but this is what we're here for. So The big to do with Ocarina of Time's split is there's a problem right here. I don't know if you can see it, but let me just point it out real quick. Right about here, there's this big if. Like, if the hero dies and is unsuccessful, then we get this downfall timeline. And it's really, like, it feels tacked on. Like, does every game over ever make a new timeline then? And it says it in the Historia, and it's on their official website too. It's like a choose your own adventure. Like, oh hey, we're doing Skyward Sword, and then we go to the Minish Cap, and then Ocarina of Time, and it's like now it's a choose your own adventure. Is the hero triumphant or is the hero defeated? You choose. Haha. And it's like, really? I mean, I know it's a game and it's like all silly and made up and stuff, but it feels kind of arbitrary. So what I'm trying to do here with this theory that I'm crafting is to show that timelines can split, and to identify how and when that happens, and then to also show that there is another split that Nintendo has not said, and that is all the way up here at Mr. Skyward Sword. If we move that, my suggestion to you all is that right at the beginning of our timeline we have a split over and down, and we're gonna try to show some evidence for this, but my theory is that this is the remembering how to use our painting studio. Placeholder text. Yes, you placeholder text. What day is it this day? Oh, it's right here. Okay. And this is Hylia line. In line. Could I make this any larger? Yes, okay, fine, thank you. Go away now, and we'll just do this old-fashioned way. I'm Lynn! Oh boy. Not my dyslexia, not now. People are watching. Highly a timeline. And so over here, in gold, the timeline we have established, we should rename this stream to be just like watch a man struggle with Kira for an hour. Text over here is a new layer, and this is the three goddesses. Bonk. Bonk. Oh, that's not going to show up very well because it's yellow on different yellow. You can be red. It shows up a little better. Three goddess timeline, let's go. Like, you really don't do that. There. Anyway, oh, it's so pretty. Thank you. Yes, my art skills are legendary. So what's interesting is in Skyward Sword is where we're introduced. Make it bold. Okay, fine. Yeah, it does need to match. We don't want our OCD to get the better of us, so that it matches this over here. That doesn't show up super well. I'm gonna get all graphic designing instead of theory crafting. It's gonna be one of those streams. It's hello, the real wizard. It's happening. Hello, Wizard Stan. Welcome. We're theory crafting. Welcome and get on in here. Push up your nerd glasses and grab your inhaler because we're going deep into the lore. Okay. Premise: split at Skyward Sword because we're introduced to Hylia, and all the games following Skyward Sword, except for I guess Echoes of Wisdom, follow a new goddess that is introduced in Skyward Sword, Hylia. The rest of the games that came before, we just hear about the 3 golden goddesses. My theory is that when the time travel shenanigans that happen in Skyward Sword creates the split, so that the ending of the game that we see with, Link and Zelda and Groose settling the lands below into Hyrule, that is them also establishing the religion of Hylia. Because if you think about it, in Skyward Sword, Demise dies twice. When you get the Triforce, you wish to smush the giant avocado with legs, and so it comes to pass. So he dies. And then Girahim's like, yeah, but if I grab Zelda and go back in time and resurrect him, then we can he can get his boss back. So you have to go back in time and kill Demise then, and that is where the curse happens, where Demise, points his fingers like, my hatred will follow the blood of the goddess and the spirit of the hero forever. Yes, the giant avocado with legs, the worst boss in all of Zelda bosses. Anyway, so if you think about it, after Link kills Demise, after he's cursed, he goes back to the timeline where they just wished him gone, and that's where he and Zelda, set it up. That's this timeline over here on the left. So need to clarify that here. Avocado smushed. Okay, so just so we know where we're thinking here when we're thinking this through. All right, we've got guacamole over here from our smushed avocado, and that is so small to read. Well, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I am Skyward Sword's strongest defender, and not even I can abide Muppet Sheep Man 1 out of 10 boss. Yes. Okay. Avocado smushed over here. So if you think about it, over here, we have Demise killed in the distant past. So if you think about it, time that was thousands of years before the events of Skyward Sword, and there would be no imprisoning, no like Zelda locked in old amber to be resurrected in Jurassic Park. there would be no like anything, because if there is no demise to defeat, there is no like Girahim, there's no anything for Skyward Sword to happen. The event of the game can't happen. There's no villain to defeat in that timeline. So that's where I submit to you, the council, for approval, my theory that this is where eyes stabbed in the tummy. That's how you defeat him. My stab right there. So that's why there's no reference to the goddess Hylia in this timeline. There's no Skyloft people to come down to the ground. I mean, why would they? They're just, have, like, a whole different story besides the events that we see in the game would have to happen. But the guacamole ending is in the present, not the past. I can't undo the events of the game because you have to play the whole game to get there. See, it's hello, how are we? Who said hello? Oh, Shadow Wizard. Shadow Wizard's here in the YouTube. How are you, Shadow Wizard? We're talking about a lot of nerdy Zelda lore. Welcome in. Hope you're ready. Yeah, this is where it's gonna get messy because we have to talk about time travel and what like is and isn't affected because it's so messy. Like Nintendo is doing this so quick and dirty. It's just like don't think about it, just play the game. But but they both can't happen, right? That's why it's a timeline split. If Demise is dead, all right, he can't be imprisoned and be the avocado. Hello, yeah, get your popcorn. We're talking nerdy stuff. Before we get into what like time travel is and what it affects and all that fun stuff, I want to just finish this timeline over here because the other thing that Nintendo is too much of a coward to do is place the Wild Era games in the timeline. They're just like, it's at the end somewhere. It all comes together. It all comes to Breath of the Wild in the end. The Ocarina set the precedent that both things can happen parallel to each other. Otherwise, the adult timelines with Wind Waker, etc., would never happen because it's prevented once Link is sent back in time to the child. You are correct, sir. Yes, Ocarina of Time is the real culprit in why this is so messy. But I just wanted to start with Skyward Sword so we get our premise. So here's the premise. All right. Okay. So if we are placing the Wild Era games, it is in this timeline because the Wild Era games are the only other games that have Hylia as their goddess. Time travel in Skyward Sword has Impa living as two different ages at the same time, and you can also see Zelda in the crystal before she goes back in time. Yeah, it has its cake and eats it too. It's messy AF. We're gonna get into that. Let me just finish my drawing, please. Okay, I promise I'll talk about it. You are bringing up valid points. Why is my brush gigantic? Oh, because we're on the wrong layer. Okay, paint layer. Hello? Oh, why did we get all fuzzy? No. We are... Oh, I had this all set up and ready to go. Now it's all fuzzy. Dang it. Yes. Dang it. Old man can't figure out how to work video or image interesting image editing software. It's interesting but messy at the same time. Yes. What if we do this? It's kind of like what I'm wanting, but maybe large. There we go. Okay. So down here, we're gonna leave this blank spot right here for no particular reason. At the end of the timeline, on this side is where we have Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And make it bold and make it large. And then come over here and stretch it out anyway because it's not large enough to be seen by the people in the back. I left this place here because something stupid and fun happens in Tears of the Kingdom. What I think supports my theory of there being two timelines and split is because Tears of the Kingdom shows from Zelda's perspective, since she goes back in time, the imprisoning war, secret stones. Yeah, we don't hear that enough. And that is imprisoning war is like a parallel version of Ocarina of Time. Like we have Ganondorf kneeling before the king, planning to betray him, just like he does in Ocarina of Time. So we have time as seen by Zelda imprisoning. Oh my god. Imprisoning war. Question mark. Secret stone. There we go. It's basically a retelling of Ocarina of Time. Yes. And it's like, are we retconning that Tears of the Kingdom? What's going on here? My theory says no, we are not. What is happening here is since we had a split, but we have, goddesses of time watching over it, similar things are happening and we are seeing them unfold. Like, so we look over here at like the timeline split with Majora's Mask, my baby, which is another version of Hyrule, but where everyone looks the same. So even though timelines are splitting, similar events are transpiring. So that's why in Tears of the Kingdom we see Ocarina of Time, but it's a little bit different. It's worth mentioning that Tears was the only time a second Ganon or Ganondorf has ever appeared. It's always the same guy from Ocarina of Time anywhere else. The theory has some like... Yes! Thank you, Wizard Stan. Because if we think of Ganondorf, the man, not the blue pig that's just in our, downfall timeline here, like, put it in the recycling bin, we don't want to think about it. It's always been the same guy. So Ocarina of Time has Ganondorf, and that same person is either the Wind Waker Ganondorf or the Twilight Princess. It's the same version, but he looks a little different. Like in Wind Waker, he has pointy ears, and in other ones he doesn't. He has round ears like most Gerudo. And then we have a completely different looking one in Tears of the Kingdom's Ganondorf, voiced by the Dreamboat Matthew Mercer. Question: have you played Age of Imprisonment? I have watched the cutscenes. I know it's technically canon. The short answer is no. Okay, if I say something that is explained in Age of Imprisonment, please let me know and maybe I'll address it. I'm also just doing this for fun. because I know that these are video games, so everything I could say could be wrong. But we'll give it a try anyway. From what I understand, in the Age of Imprisonment, it shows like a more fleshed out version of the imprisoning war as seen by Zelda, but the beats play out the same. There's just like, instead of the hero of time, it's the construct hero who's like the Zonai warrior. It's weird. Best promotion on street. Oh, hey, we got a bot. Welcome in. Guards. Seize him. Okay. I don't have my fan on. No wonder. This nerd's getting real sweaty talking about Zelda, I tell you what, for free. I thought it was a decent game, good story, and definitely more fleshed out story compared to Tears of the Kingdom. Good, I'm glad. It looks really fun and well put together, and interesting. I just didn't play it because I'm not into the hack and slash gameplay. So, yeah, but by all means, enjoy the game. It looks good. Okay, so we were talking about how timelines, even though they are split, will be parallel and mirror each other. I also don't take this stuff that seriously. I'm just glad to be here talking about Zelda. Thank you. Yes, that's what we're going for. Don't take anything too serious. Just, we're here to have fun. Sorry, I know nobody redeemed the hydrate, but I'm sweaty in this room. It's feeling better now with the fan. Okay. So here is the proposed timeline. And to give it more, it's got legs for like, okay, we got people worshiping Hylia in this version. We got people worshiping the three goddesses in this version. I feel like to really cement that there is a split, we need to know what causes a split, right? Like, there's a lot of timey-wimey things that happen in Zelda. It's messy, it's dirty, and it plays it like both ways. Because in Skyward Sword, the very start of the game, you go to the sealed temple, and you can see Zelda already, locked in Old Amber, because that's already happened. It's a time loop. But it also later, when the Thunder Dragon is dying, he's like, oh, I need the fruit from this tree, but it takes 1,000 years to grow. You're like, oh, I'll just go back in time, plant it, and then harvest it, and then bring it back to you. And that's like, so was the tree always going to grow, or wasn't it? Is it Harry Potter Time Turner, where things were always going to happen and it's a closed loop? Or is it Marty McFly Back to the Future, like as things change in the past, the future is affected? Is Marty McFly dying because his dad is not going to marry his mom? Like, both things happen in the game. So rather than analyze every little thing about the events of the game and what causes time travel, because we could look at like the time stones, the time gate, and like the goddess harp, and Zelda being reincarnation of the high. Rather than get into all of that, we know for certain we have an example of when a time split does happen, and that is Ocarina of Time. And I feel like to know where it splits in Skyward Sword, we gotta look at Ocarina of Time. It is a closed loop, but there are inconsistencies because also at the end of the game, you say goodbye to Fee, put her in a pedestal that just shows up in the temple, and then the gate disappears, and like, oh my gosh, the Master Sword's there now. was the Master Sword always there? Did did time like fix itself, or was it always there but invisible, and you just always walked around it? Um, it's it's messy. There's closed loop, and there's also timelines changing. So Ocarina of Time confirmed 3 splits. What causes the split? Because it's not the events of the game, like you as the player playing it out, because you go back and forth as much as you want at the Temple of Time between the 7 years, and that doesn't really change the story. And it's, I'm not just picking on Skyward Sword here. It's messy in Ocarina of Time too, because in, like, for example, the Song of Storm, that's a closed loop, that's a time turner thing, where you get to the future and the guy's like, that kid who taught me this song, I'll never forget it, and he plays the Song of Storms for you. So you go back in time and you become that kid that plays the song for him, and makes the windmill go too fast. So that's a closed loop. But if we look at like the magic beans, they don't show up until you plant them. So were they always going to happen or not? Because it looks like they don't happen until you plant them. Probably always there, just like the tree that gets planted with Groose. Does Groose say like, oh yeah, this tree's always been here? Because I thought he said that it just showed up one day. Hang on, we must investigate. Hammer sword. Groose reacts to tree. That's not it. How do we find this? Side quest, plant tree. I think Groose acts like it's always been there. Really? Plant the life tree. Okay, cool.
Get some sleep.
Shut up for a second. Oh my gosh, you guys, this movie looks so scary. Okay, cool. So you dig it up, take it back to it, and then you go back in time. Okay, so this guy just totally skipped over it. Okay, so we've just planted it. Come back, and Groose is staring at it. Does he say anything? Please talk to Groose. Darn you completionists and your walkthroughs that are so efficient. Okay. We're gonna switch to FaceTime because I might just I'm gonna Google some stuff, and yeah, I just don't want to be opening Google on stream just in case some ads show up or something. Skyward Sword. Sword Groose reacts to light. According to the AI overview, Bruce does not experience a sudden shocked reaction when he sees the fully grown tree because Link travels back in time to plant the seed. Bruce stays behind watching the tree has simply been there all along from Bruce's point of view as he lived through the years taking care of it. Huh. Well, okay. Okay. So we have a lot of closed loops here. There's still a problem with Demise being dead in the past, though. Okay, so maybe not that specific example. I was wrong about that. I can admit when I'm wrong. But we still have that problem with Demise. There we are. Here we go. Okay, we're back, baby. So what were we talking? Okay, yeah. So when does a timeline split happen? Is the question. We're looking at Ocarina of Time. And I don't think it's anything you do with the game with pulling the Master Sword or not. The real canonical split is adult and child, right? We know for sure when that happens. That is when Zelda's like, give me the ocarina, I can send you back. As a sage, I can send you back so you can reclaim your lost childhood. So I was going to say Zelda being in the crystal shows that it's more closed loop. You still have the problem with the inconsistencies. Yes, thank you. Thank you, yes. So Skyward Sword is a closed loop, except for the whole Demise thing. We'll just hang our hat on that and move on. So Ocarina of Time, Zelda sends you back, and that's where we confirmed have the child and the adult, and we know that is the moment because we see at the end of Ocarina of Time's credit scenes, young Link showing up to Zelda. Like for the first time, like she's spying in the window again, but he has the Triforce of Courage on his hand. So he's experienced the whole game, and also because he has the Triforce of Courage, shenanigans happen in the Wind Waker, so that Triforce is broken. I think is the going theory on that. Also, like, real quick side tangent onto Wind Waker, like it's so weird that like in the adult timeline Ganon comes back and there's not like a version of Link, like the new incarnation to stop him, just because Zelda sent the hero of time back to reclaim his childhood. Because it's like, it's not like Destiny can't call a new hero, right? But you know, it is what it is. We're not talking about Wind Waker. We're talking about Skyward Sword and Ocarina of Time. Yeah. So my theory on this, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, is that the gods were like, he grinded his guts out of the sacred realm. He's earned this. Best I can do is a Noah's Ark. No, look, all of our heroes we could reincarnate. They're busy in other timelines, so we're just gonna wash the whole area. Just give you guys a clean start. It's fine. So a timeline split happens when it is Zelda doing it, is the theory, because of her goddess powers, I guess we'll say. Listen, I told you time travel's messy. It's not gonna get more specific than that, but something, because Zelda is the reincarnation of Hylia, or the leader of the sages, or whatever. She has the power to split the timeline. to get a real do-over, because otherwise, like we see with the Song of Storms, the events of the game are a closed loop. They always were going to happen, and they always have happened, except for when they split. Uh, Coming back to this, if the hero is defeated here, I have just a little theory as to when this happens. Because in the Hylia Historia, it says in the final battle, if the hero is defeated, is when this splits. Okay, so what? Just go with me on this. 'Cause I don't have a ton of evidence for this because you can't see it in the game. There's like a little bit. So just come with me on this adventure. It'll be fun. All right, we're just having fun here. Okay. So, in Ocarina's final battle with Ganondorf, Link dies, and it's in his big section where he's the beast Ganon. And part of the reason that he dies is because Navi won't help. Like, she has that moment in the first part where she's like, "Oh, the waves of darkness, I can't help, I'm sorry." But we see Navi in the second part being like, "Oh, I'm not gonna mess up this time. I'm gonna help now." So my theory is that in this second phase, Link dies, and Zelda, who has the ability to split timelines with time travel, is there with Navi after Link dies. And so Zelda sends Navi back just like a few minutes, just like to the start of the fight. And she's like, "Listen, you have got to help Link out this time, okay? He almost had it if he could just lock on and not fight the camera, the real boss of this game, then he'll win." So Navi is sent back by Zelda to help Link, and that's when she's like, "You know what? I'm gonna help this time." And so you can lock on. Link has the better odds in the fight with Navi's help and guidance, and is able to then do the final blow. My only other evidence of this happening is it gives a little more explanation as to why Navi leaves unexpectedly at the end and Link can't find her. Like, he puts the sword back and the doors are about to go, and now he's like, "Okay, bye." Without but she doesn't even say that. She doesn't leave without a word. I think part of her instructions from Zelda is like, "Okay, but after you save the world, you can't stay in Hyrule because you'll run into your past selves," which is also why Link leaves to go do Majora's Mask. So that's my short little story. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk as to when the downfall timeline happens. Right? I'll take that applause now. I think whenever you're ready for, I'll take my academic accolades for solving this mystery that has plagued Zelda fans. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you, Sam. I was really fishing for a comment there. A compliment there, I should say. Okay. Otherwise, there's no explanation for when the downfall, but we for sure know when the adult and the child happen. I got you. I really like that explanation. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say that Zelda being no, we read that. That still super bums out the sages to only pitch in after Link either wins or effing dies. They were not locked in. No, 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 no. Yeah, because it leads into A Link to the Past, right? Where the sages still seal Ganondorf in his boar form. Um But I guess the sages were like, "Oh man, if he could just actually kill him though, so we don't have to seal him instead." Because like killing him would be easier, right? Like then it's done and we don't have to deal with it later. Oh, Link died. Okay, well we'll seal him now and we'll deal with it later. Darn, I was really hoping the Master Sword would kill him. Oh, that leads me into another theory, but I don't know if we have time, you guys. Like, why won't Ganondorf just die when he's been freaking stabbed in the head with the Master Sword? Sure, but we can't hit him with the spiritual equivalent of pepper spray during the fight. Make it a little bit easier for our boy. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like they were on standby to seal him away in the sacred realm, but yeah, them sages. They are a fickle solution. It's kind of like Twilight Princess 2. They're like, okay, we'll just execute him, and then again he doesn't die, so they're like, okay, we'll lock him in the Twilight Realm. Okay, I why not? We're getting into it. The reason Ganondorf does not die in either Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time. Okay, hold on. Sam, nope, not allowed. There are laws against that sort of thing. Until Ganon killed Link, there was no real law broken and no real grounds to seal him. If they had sealed him without Ganon killing Link, it would have led them all to be arrested for. Yeah, there. He may have like plunged the kingdom into darkness, killed who knows how many people. At least one, that one guard in the alley in Ocarina of Time, and the king. But legally, we can't take any action against Ganondorf until he kills the hero of time. Okay, yes, makes sense. It's in Hylia's bylaws. Oh, sorry, we're in the wrong timeline. The three goddesses bylaws of the age. Okay, why Ganondorf is immortal. Okay. So it's the Triforce is the short answer. Like we know when the Triforce comes together, it can grant a wish, right? If your heart is in balance, you can get a wish if you have the full Triforce. But if you're not in balance, you get a piece of it, right? And like a piece of the Triforce gives like certain abilities, but they're different based on what piece you get. And I don't have any basis for this. We are so far out on a limb on our theory crafting now that we're just hanging on to some twigs and hoping that they don't snap. And this is a really shaky branch, but it's my headcanon, and I think that's right. Because if you're going to take over a kingdom, you better have your lawyers ready and in your back pocket ready to go. Yeah, gotta get them lawyers ready for when you take over Hyrule. The Triforce pieces grant abilities and different abilities based on which piece you get. To my mind, what makes sense is you don't get like the Triforce of Power does not give power. It seeks out people who have power. And each of the Triforce pieces do this and enable their wielders to use the virtue that they embody. So, like, Zelda is not given wisdom; she is given tools so that she can use the wisdom that she already has. Like, She gets premonition dreams. She gets the ability to like contact people telepathically. Um, some magic. um, Link gets courage. It doesn't make him brave. It gives him tools to use because he's brave. So he gets like the ability to like fight and master any weapon. Like there's a whole subsection of Reddit where people believe that the bullet time in the Wild Era game is the Triforce of Courage ability. But this was also before Tears of the Kingdom, and then Ganondorf did it. So like it grants Link the ability to be courageous. It doesn't make him courageous. Thank you for liking the music in the background, Shadow Wizard. Thank you. So Ganondorf is not given power. He's given the opportunity to exercise power. So his Triforce ability is to not be slain in battle. Like it's different than courage. That doesn't make you brave. That's different than courage, and it's not wisdom because you could just brute force your way through everything if you can't be slain in battle. So that's why he doesn't die in Ocarina. That's why he doesn't die in Twilight Princess when he's stabbed twice in the stomach. The only reason he dies finally in Twilight Princess is because the Triforce leaves him. And my headcanon for that is that he stops embodying the virtue of power, and he I don't know, goes back on something else, or maybe somebody else is more worthy of power since he's been defeated twice already. The Triforce of Power is like, all right, is this really the horse I'm backing? All right, I'm out. Okay. I think the explanation is that if you come across an already assembled Triforce, you gotta have a balance of the three before you just get the one piece. You have to assemble the other two. So it only gets one in Ocarina and all in Wind Waker. Correct. Yes. If you touch the Triforce and you're not in balance, you get the piece that you most resonate with, and the other two pieces go find the people that most embody those virtues. That is how the Triforce works. Kind of sounds like the Secret Stones because they only amplify your power, but you still have to put in the work to reach the full potential. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Shadow Wizard. That is kind of the vibe that I think both the Secret Stones and the Triforce embody. The Triforce of Wisdom doesn't make you wise. Same with courage or power. It comes to you because you are those things, and then gives you the abilities and tools to use your virtue to the fullest. So that's why I don't think Ganondorf dies as long as he has the Triforce of Power. And he says as much when he's sealed in Ocarina of Time. Like, as long as the Triforce of Power is on my hand, I shall never stop coming for your descendants, or something like to that effect. Okay, so we had fun in Ocarina of Time. We now know when a timeline splits, it's when Zelda gets involved. So now we need to look at Skyward Sword and say, okay, when does Zelda time travel to create a split in the timeline? And it's I'm kind of wrestling with this. Is I don't have like a solid point. I have like two ideas of when this can happen. Because as we've explored, it's a closed loop. I thought it was mostly a closed loop, but for the sake of simplicity in arguing, let's just assume it's completely a closed loop on the events of the game. We see here in Old Amber, we see like people, Groose taking care of the tree apparently, like it's always been there. And that's because they use, the Gate of Time. Zelda and Impa go through the Gate of Time, and then Impa destroys the gate so that Girahim can't follow him, right? And it makes sense that that's a closed loop because even before the events that lead up to the time travel gate, we see the effects, Zelda and Amber. So this is where it's gonna get shaky again. Hello, Amber Dillis. What's up? Hello, fam. We're very sweaty and very nerdy today. We're talking about timelines and magic. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, hi, Grunzilla. How are you? Welcome to the chat. We're just talking about nerdy Zelda timeline shenanigans. So I can already feel the shakiness coming. Yeah. Well, it's because it goes back to it's Loganites, the dragon. Oh, yeah, Loganite. You know how Dragonite sounds? Y'all are distracting me, and it's a shaky part for me to be distracted on, okay? I love it. Please keep going. So because Zelda went through the first gate and then it was destroyed, it kind of like sealed off that timeline, right? Like, okay, Zelda went through, she's a goddess. Also, this gate can't be... Yeah, I got all kinds of Pokemon impressions, Grunzilla. You just say one, and I'll just slip it in real quick. just to keep distracting me from... We'll take little dips into other franchises as we talk. Essentially saying, like, she's here now. This is now the only timeline that we would remember is the one Zelda created by going back through the gate. That's option number one. The option number two is kind of like the same vein as the downfall, and I know that sucks because the events of the game wouldn't remember it, like with sending Navi back and stuff. Is that when Link and Girahim and Demise are like fighting, well, I guess Link and Girahim are fighting. There's like this moment where she like turns into light, much like she does in Tears of the Kingdom when she falls into a pit. It's like a goddess defense mechanism. If Zelda is ever falling from a great height, her body's natural response to danger is to time travel to when she was safe. Yeah, that's my theory. Cause in Tears of the Kingdom, like, that Zelda is light powers. Yes, yeah. In Tears of the Kingdom, that Zelda is awful at her powers. Like, she could not seal away Ganondorf for 100 years, and afterwards she's like, oh, I guess I used up all my powers. I don't know. Guess I'll go back to being a scholar. And yet that Zelda, when she falls from a really big cliff, her body, without realizing it, she had a secret stone to amplify it, but without understanding how any of this works, she just naturally time traveled. She just did it. Good, by the way, not ready for work tomorrow. Yeah, same. That's why I'm talking about Zelda stuff. So if we apply that logic, to Skyward Sword when Girahim's like doing the ritual and he like throws her up into the air. There's a moment where he like drops her and she falls back down and like the avocado eats the light. That's Zelda time traveling, baby. Like she was just scared, and her body's natural defense mechanism is like, oh, I'm falling. I better time travel to when I was not falling. I don't know why you're not all like giving me ones in the chat. This is a solid theory. She grabbed the secret stone from Rauru when it fell in the beginning. Maybe it triggered her powers without her knowing. Yes. Yes, Amberdale. Oh, I'm falling. Better time travel to I'm not falling. Honestly, incredible. It's true. So thank you. Yes, thank you. I know. This is probably the weakest part of my theory for this timeline split, is finding the exact moment as to when the time travel actually happens. But if we look at the results, all right, you're not looking at the results. Look at the results with me. We have every game after Skyward Sword worshiping a whole different goddess. Like, how is that not a timeline split? What do you mean, oof, Grunzilla? I think this I submit my theory to the council, and I think it has the legs to still stand on its own. Because the only other option is it's another if, you know, because it's a different timeline and it's a closed loop, except when it splits, then we would never see when time travel happens, right? It's another downfall timeline situation. We would not experience it by playing it the game. It's just, okay, well, now there's this whole other canon of Zelda. The alternative is just to say like, well, Nintendo just wanted to do something else. That's another Zelda thing. They always tell you what happens, but not necessarily shows you. Yeah, it's true. That is very true, Shadow Wizard. Thank you. I still think the Zelda time travel defense mechanism is super funny, but I did state the first one as my primary example. The only time we see Zelda time travel in the game is when she goes through the Gate of Time. And there's not really a definitive way to show how that works. And the only time that it's only ever actual is when Impa like drops the bomb and destroys it. Yeah, they have to. I thought I had the video pulled up. Hang on. Okay. Thanks for recommending YouTube. Okay. Skyward Sword. Time cutscene. This one. Thank you, ads. I'm gonna pause the sick cams real quick. Let's just see what happens in the game. Okay. Singing the ballad of the goddess, as one does when thou art a goddess. Anime noises. Boy, this Girahim is my favorite. Otherwise terrible thing. He knows how to make an exit. Both. Hey, Grace, quickly, to the gate! This way you're going! Okay. You got the goddess heart, but there's no time to admire it! Ow. Beware my guy. Am I late? I would have picked Am I late?
Hey!
Hey! You must go. Return to the old woman. He also knows about the old woman, which is weird. Like, she already knows she's gonna be old. I'll see you again. This isn't goodbye, Link. I promise. If he drops the bomb, no more gated time. Link. Nope. Time. So sweet. You'll be deafening yourself by the shrill sound of your own screams. Literally talking about herself. Yes, thank you, Shadow. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the only time story time travel is used for Zelda. That's all we have to go on.
Now we gotta go help people customize and save hundreds with Liberty
Oh,
Mutual.
shoot. I left that open
where's the
and
golf
ads
cart?
are a thing. And we gotta take it. I was like, who's talking right now? So anyway, yeah, that's my theory. To recap, because we have a whole section, I'm gesturing to the screen instead of using my mouse. We have a whole section of games that worship highly instead of the three goddesses, and we definitely have Demise dead in one timeline, which would result in the people of Skyloft not coming down, and that would leave room for people like the Zonai to establish Hyrule instead of the Skyloftians. Ad will be the death of me. I'm sorry. So yeah, instead of Skyloft, we have the Zonai who establish Hyrule, and because we can see that timelines are parallel to each other via, Ocarina of Time and Tears of the Kingdom's imprisoning war. We see those things play out, and that way Tears of the Kingdom does not retcon Ocarina of Time. So we have our three goddesses timeline, we got our Hylia timeline, and we know that it is Zelda herself who causes timelines to split. Which means, oh boy, we also would have a split right about, yeah, hang on, right about here. As we talked about earlier, and there, I think it makes sense because at the end of Skyward Sword, we don't see them start Hyrule Kingdom yet. All it did was go back to the surface. Right, right. The founding of Hyrule is very ambiguous at the end of Skyward Sword. It's just, one of those things they leave up to, you know, yada 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 over. Which means we have another split if we apply this logic in Tears of the Kingdom. Because we have Zelda time travel back to the imprisoning war. And that's a problem too, because it's already a closed loop. And the evidence of that is when Link and Zelda first arrive in the pit at the bottom, Ganondorf already knows their names. Like, she already time traveled. So, because he's like, "Oh, you must be Link. I've heard so much about you. Oh, and Zelda, and good to see you again," or whatever he says. What does he say? We already looked up YouTube once. Let's do it again. Okay. These are the instances time travels used in the Zelda series. None of it makes a whole lot of difference. According to Tears of the Kingdom, Rauru is the first king and ruler of Hyrule, but whether or not it's a different timeline or a reimagining of Ocarina, like you said earlier, yeah, we don't know. And then there's King Rauru, and then the Sage Rauru, which is already confusing because if it's not a timeline split, it's a retcon, and that is less fun to me. Okay, Tears of the Kingdom, Link and Zelda meet Ganondorf.
Alrighty.
Oh no. Yeah, this part. Very start of the game. What is this place? No, wait, she has a British accent. Let's continue, Link, but we must be extremely careful. That's British Zelda for you.
What is that?
What is that? Dude's been limboing for 8 million years. He's gonna win. He's determined. Oh good, you're here. I can finally relax. Crazy how we know so little about the Zonai, even with Age of Imprisonment. Yeah, that one might consider that a critique of that game. For a game all about the Zonai, we sure don't know a lot about the Zonai. I guess I appreciate the mystery. I appreciate the mystery to an extent. I'm a little frustrated by it. But anyway, let's see what we can do. Taylor! Oh, I've been Metroided! I'm so mad about the Master breaking too.
Link!
Was that the sword that seals the darkness? The blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me. Zelda.
See, he already knows her.
You
He hasn't
carries
met
that
him,
fragile sword.
but he's got context clues. Yeah.
Rauru placed his faith in you. And that was all you could do.
How do you know our
That's a good
names?
point, Sam. Once he was sealed, no one thought to take the stone off of him? Also, when we faded to black there when I first played this, I was like, oh, we're gonna fight him! Oh, no, we're just looking outside. Okay. Or cut off his head. Yeah. All valid points. Why didn't anybody do that? This prologue shows that Tears of the King of Ganondorf is the strongest and most powerful. It is crazy how powerful he is, even while a mummy. 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. With. And her defense mechanism activates to save her. In his weakest state, he was able to break the sword and lift the castle into the sky. Yeah. Crazy how powerful this Gandalf is. He beats you to death with his health bar at the end of the game. That's impressive, too. Headcanon, Ganon is a genius. Why does this cause the Zonai, floating islands to fall? Maybe if we knew more about the Zonai and what's actually going on here. Any dang way. Okay, so did I finish my recap? So because she time travels, but before she does, it's already a closed loop where he knows her name. So is this kind of like puts a wrench in my whole theory, but I figured I'd bring it up just to play devil's advocate with myself. Or land fall like that. Who else could make land float like that or land fall like that? It also caused the chasms to open up as well. Yeah, he just shook up the whole land. Dude was a beast. But to play devil's advocate for my own theory, because Tears of the Kingdom is a closed loop, I don't think every time Zelda time travels, it is a split. Otherwise, we do have this problem right here, which I don't think we have. I don't think Tears of the Kingdom has any evidence of splitting. I think it's a closed loop. It's a time turner. You didn't have chasms in Breath of the Wild. Yeah. Or playing devil's advocate again, going back to the other side. There is a split, and we don't remember it because Zelda time traveled. And we just remember things as they always have been. And in this light green timeline split, we just remember Ganon remembering their names. And the difference is, like, did he open up chasms, or were there just now chasms now that Zelda went back in time? And also, like, all of the Shikatek from Breath of the Wild just disappears. It's not super satisfying, but it would explain, like, even in the Wild era, okay, there was the Breath of the Wild era where there was the Shikatek that was preparing for Calamity Ganon, right? And then Zelda time travels, and we only remember the Tears of the Kingdom where timeline where there's chasms and there is no Shikatek because it was altered just that much, and we just don't remember it. It's the hero's downfall timeline for this timeline. Yeah, it's just a big fun old mess, isn't it? Just just a hoot and a half, as it were. But we just don't remember, gosh dang it. So yeah. I I don't like there being a split in Tears of the Kingdom. So my headcanon is that not every time Zelda time travels is a timeline split, and Tears of the Kingdom is the evidence for that. That sometimes she just goes back in time and it doesn't create a split. It's the time turner, it's a closed loop. It's always been that Ganondorf was there, and he always had met Zelda and knew about Link. Which does kind of throw a little bit of a wrench into my Skyward Sword theory, because I just can't find. I'm just being honest here. I can't find any instance of when Zelda would have time traveled to create a time split in Skyward Sword. But there, so I don't know when it happened, but I think I put forth enough evidence that there is a split after Skyward Sword. It just wouldn't be anything we experience in the game. So it's just a whole other downfall timeline where it's if, and it doesn't happen in game, it happens off screen. Shadow Wizard. The people in Tears of the Kingdom do remember the Sheikah Tech, and also the people study the chasms as if they just opened up. That's correct. Okay, so it's definitely not that then. It has been a while since I played Tears of the Kingdom. So thank you for bringing that up and helping me to remember that. So it always has been that Ganon has met Zelda and knew Link's name, even before she time traveled. And I think there was some like hand wavy explanation in one of the voice documentaries from Zelda where like all the Sheikah tech turned to dust after it fulfilled its purpose. But anyway, I think a split after Skyward Sword would make more sense probably. Yeah, there definitely a split after Skyward Sword does make a lot of sense. It's just the missing key component is identifying when it happens. And yeah, the only thing I have to go on is that gate being destroyed after Zelda goes through it. All very subtle, but the information is there. Oh, I love this song. I love the alien subquest in Majora's Mask. I just don't remember it. Anyway, that's my whole proposition as to a split after Skyward Sword. It definitely it definitely has some weaker parts to it, but it makes a lot of sense to me. So what do you guys think? I will open up the floor now to comments and questions. Yeah, or if there's a different like Zelda theory or lore you want to get into, we can talk about that too. Or if nobody has any questions, I guess we just wrap it up. There's nothing else I really had planned for the stream, so this is as good as it gets, as they say. Otherwise, I'm just gonna vibe out to this song. Remember how Impa fades away and evaporates at the end of Skyward Sword? It reminds me of this Sheikah monk from Breath of the Wild, how they do that after each shrine is complete. Just one thought. It is a good comparison to point out. She is Sheikah, they are Sheikah. Once they are super old and have fulfilled their purpose, they are allowed to master Oogway away. I think that does raise a question, like, do the Sheikah, because they live a long time anyway. Like Impa doesn't, in Breath of the Wild, Impa doesn't seem to be bothered that she's old and is kind of like snobbish towards her sister Pura, like, oh, you're gonna make yourself younger. It makes me think that like the Sheikah do have some kind of magic or technology power over long life and deciding when to give up the ghost. Great video. Are you excited for Ocarina of Time remake? Yes. Yes, I am. So yeah, let's talk about the remake and the possibilities there. Yeah, one of the bigger reasons I wanted to make this before Ocarina of Time remake came out is just on the off chance that Nintendo actually addresses any of this, because as stated before, Ocarina of Time is where things get messy because it is a confirmed timeline split. And it's definitely the three goddesses and not Hylia. And and in the trailer, it alludes more to the three goddesses, as it says, the land created by. Let's analyze the trailer. Let's pull it up. Let's just get what actually it says.
If I were him, I'd bundle my home and auto and pick up the real victory.
This
Savings.
stream is
Are
not
you
brought
talking
to
about
you
bowling?
by
No,
State
bundle,
Farm
Jan.
or anything insurance related. Okay.
Long ago, there was a land called Hyrule, created by beings of supreme divinity.
All right, so yeah. It's a little thing, but it says beings with an S, which yeah, three goddesses, not just Hylia. So we're not. Yeah, we got
At the
this.
very edge of this kingdom, there lay a small forest.
Hang on, I'm not done with this line
Supreme
actually. So, from the narrator's point of view, this is long ago. So this took place a long time ago. And there was past tense a land called Hyrule. Is it gone? So a little bit of a worry that this is from the perspective of the Wild Era games, and then this is all gonna go away again. Voice acting in full scale HD animation. I don't know how I feel about voice acting,
divinity.
but I could take or leave it. If it's in there, fine. If it's not in there, great. Just you know,
At the very edge of this kingdom, there lay a small forest.
this tapestry thing is new too. Like this is not from the game. The tree looks different. The castle looks similar to how it does in like Super Smash Brothers and Ocarina of Time. I don't know what this gateway thing is, but it looks like it could be alluding to like the door to the Sacred Realm. It's got the Triforce in here. I'm not really sure what this gate is. But anyway. All right, what are we looking at here?
Within it, an ancient solitary tree quietly watched over the inhabitants of the forest.
I'm interested to look at this. I wonder if anybody's done an analysis of this that shows like the upscaled render of it. It's probably just going to be the Kokiri that are going to show up here on screen in a minute. Yeah.
These forest
Okay. Yeah, I forgot that it just panned up.
dwellers were called the Kokiri.
Yeah, we're not. This is like a legend in the castle, and it's like a tapestry in the castle.
Each had a fairy companion, and they lived out their innocent lives in these woods. However, there was one particular boy
Overtime, possibly.
who did not have a fairy.
So, okay, we're gonna switch to the HD render here. So, let's zoom, enhance. No. So, Tunic looks different. Possibly has this blue covering part over the green, which does not. Jarvis enhance image. Yeah. It could just be nighttime and it could be green also. I actually not a huge fan of the Blue Link era. I don't think they'll make him completely blue. I do like that it looks like, oh, this is like you can see how it's made. You can see the texture, how it overlaps, and how it's sewn together, and how it's kind of fraying at the edges. Right. Also, like all of these green things on the side, they all have like two eyes, which makes me think of either the Koroks, which is most likely because the Kokiri become the Koroks, or the little the echoes in Echoes of Wisdom, like your little helper companion. Anyway, try. The most noticeable difference is the fact that it already shows the Triforce on his hand. Yeah, everybody's talking about this. So let's continue. He does seem to be making noises. It could be voice acting. Okay, so how do you go one frame at a time? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Come on. There we go. Okay. We get one corner light up, and then we see the rest of it. Right. And he has the bottom right, which is of course his courage. Um, Look, this moment is just from later in the game when he takes a nap. At the beginning of the game, it won't have that. It's possible. It's possible that this is just for the purpose of the trailer, just for like ooh and ah, and it's not canonical. Like that, maybe this won't happen in the game. The other thing that I am thinking of is that in some of the other games, um, I gotta think about this. In some of the other games, you have the mark on the hand, and it's just like the outline on it, and it gets filled in later when you actually obtain the piece. And it's more like a mark of that you're destined to receive that piece of the Triforce. Oh, hang on. Let me see here. Um, Force hands. There was an older game where like the king cast a spell to reveal the hero, and it would be like the mark of destiny, that would be the child that would go on to receive the Triforce. Yeah, the Adventure of Link. The Adventure of Link. Hello. Which is Zelda 2, right? The Adventure of Link. Yeah. Okay. The ancient king of Hyrule hid the Triforce of Courage and cast a secret spell over Hyrule so that the Triforce crest would appear on the back of a worthy person's hand when they came of age. Yes. So this could be more like that. I think I've rambled on about it enough that this doesn't necessarily mean he's starting the game with the Triforce, but that he is destined to go on to get it. Or it could be just for the trailer, and this isn't going to happen in game. It's just, you know. Hang on. Something just perked in my brain. Oh, that's interesting. Or at least it's interesting to me. So, this might have more to do with the Wild Era than I thought. Because if you notice in the font here for Zelda, ever since the Wild Era games, they've been doing this thing where the letters in Zelda are like cracked and faded and stuff. In the original, they didn't do that. It was just like solid. I mean, it's got some texture on it, but it was pretty much, it's pretty clean, super clean. So maybe it has more to do with the Wild Era than I thought. I think that's it for the trailer, right? 26, baby, this year. Yeah, that's it for the trailer.
When AT&T hands you the all-new Samsung
This
Galaxy
stream
Z,
is not brought to you by AT&T. It does not represent the opinions of this channel. So if we're just talking now, we're just talking about the remake now. If I'm gonna start at what I think is going to happen, and then I'm gonna get into my wish list from most likely to least likely. Okay. So 3D Zelda Dungeons ranking soon. Have I not done a Zelda dungeon ranking? I thought I did a bunch of tier lists, but I could do a dungeon tier ranking. But wish list first for remake. What I think is going to happen is it's just going to be an HD upscale with like some quality of life improvements, and it's just going to be the same story, same dungeons. I did the bosses, but not the dungeons. Okay, so we need a dungeon ranking tier list. Understood. Thank you, Shadow Wizard. So what I think is going to be is Nintendo's just going to play it safe because ever since they like knocked it out of the park with Ocarina of Time, they've done nothing but say like, okay, we don't want to make the same game over and over. We don't want to make Ocarina of Time over and over. So that's what they've been doing. And even when they like said like, oh, we're gonna make like Twilight Princess a spiritual successor to Ocarina of Time, it's not gonna be like two, but it's kind of like two. I feel like they just trying to get away from this game as much as possible after, it was a huge success and they didn't feel like they could live up to the hype for it. So I think they're gonna play it safe and just be like, you know what? It's HD, it's got quality of life. Um, and like the HD version on the DS back in what was that, 2011? Here's master mode. Like here's a more difficult version. It's inverted. Maybe some of the dungeons are different. And that would be fine. I would love that. I really hope it's more than just a one-to-one remake. That I want a full reimagining with better combat. But I'm excited either way to relive the memories with one of my favorite games. Same. I would love just a HD upscale with some quality of life, like a decent challenge mode. DS, but reimagined for the Switch. Hang on, we're gonna change the background here so that what we're talking about matches. Do-do-do-do-do. Wow, I really thought this was it'd be more of the same images, but here we go. Okay. Not what I had in mind, but okay. I wanted open image in new tab, not Reddit. Whatever. When I first saw the trailer, it reminded me of Pixar movie or something else like that. I did notice that with the skin. It was very reminiscent of Pixar. But I would love a Pixar version of Ocarina of Time. Um, what I think they may throw in, um, is like maybe a couple of nods to the other games to tie it all together. Like not changing the story. I think they might like address, games that came before, maybe where it's going after. Uh like this is the only game where we get the creation of Hyrule explained to us by the Deku Tree right at the beginning. And like the most direct lore about the three goddesses. The next is probably Echoes of Wisdom, but and that Echoes of Wisdom is really interesting in its own way. But I really think what may happen is they may add a couple lines of dialogue or nods to the rest of the series. Getting more extravagant and probably less likely is they may change up like the dungeons, you know, um, change like so that it's not just solving the same puzzles that we've been solving for the last 30 years, and maybe like a couple new places in the overworld, a couple of grottos, maybe some things to do in Hyrule Field, things to do at Lon Lon Ranch, some of the more barren places from the first one that doesn't really change anything, but just gives you something to do. Um, I think it's within the realm of possibilities of things that'll happen. Um, Getting more extravagant now. Um, Moving the game a little bit forward in some places that a lot of people have pointed out over the years are kind of lacking. The big one that comes to mind is Zora's Domain not unfreezing as an adult after you beat the dungeon. Like many people have pointed out, when you're an adult and you beat the dungeon, the world heals and goes back to normal. Like Kokiri Forest gets rid of its monsters, the Gorons come back from the volcano, um, Kakariko Village stops being on fire. But it was really frustrating for a lot of people that Zora's Domain stayed frozen. And I think it would be, you know, kind of iffy. May probably won't happen, but I think it would be something they would look at to be like, okay, here's like a mini quest to save Zora's Domain as an adult. Like you go into the ice caverns and you actually smash the wind turbine that's always going on in there so it stops blowing the polar wind. Um and that way you can actually go down underwater as an adult and find out what's at that place that's too deep to dive as a child. Most people were saying it was the unicorn fountain. I don't think it's going to be that, but little places like that they could add into, like, okay, now you can reach this spot in the game. Okay, you can go to that spot in Ocarina of Time. I Speaking of underwater, hold on, the real wizard. I'm betting on revamped combat, a big open world, tweaked side quests, and everything will be more pretty. Mostly new coat of paint. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Wizard Stan. Um, I don't know about a bigger world. It'll probably feel bigger because it's larger hardware. I would just like the same scale but more things in it. But going back to my train of thought, it's gonna be so wild to see this in HD. Mostly just for the shark, and everyone always forgets about the shark. But there's a shark in Ocarina of Time. You go to the lakeside laboratory and you dive down with your boots, and it's like, oh, cool, it's like a diving tank, haha. And in a cage, there he has a shark there. And in the old game, it's just like a PNG. It's like a crappy little thing. So you're like, oh, haha, it's clearly flat and not real, and that's fine. If you put that shiz in an HD, like, are they gonna put like a real moving shark down there? To me, that'd be wild. Um, yes. Uh, so yeah. People also complained a lot about the light temple not being a temple in the game. I think it would be within the realm of possibility that they could add that if they were going to add a dungeon. Um, you don't want to take away from the moment where you pull the master sword. Like, you want to get the player out there as an adult and get back into the overworld. Like, look how things are different. Oh, it's so scary here in Market Town. Like, you want to have that moment, but maybe when you come back and learn the Prelude of Light, like, maybe you can open up the Temple of Light as well and have that be like a optional dungeon or something. Uh Also, going to the Gerudo Desert as a child. Like, the game kind of has it set up, but it's not possible. Like, you go there as a kid and there's like a chicken. It's like you could probably glide across, but you just can't quite make it. And then there's like the guard there. It's like, you're a kid, we're not letting you in, haha. It makes you want to sneak into it. So I think being able to explore everywhere as a child and an adult would be within the realm of possibility. Might not happen, but that would be on my wish list. Especially if we're getting more unrealistic here, but if they added in the mechanic they originally wanted to do, where you would do like dungeons as young and adult Link. Like, you didn't have to go back to the Temple of Time every time to switch between them. Because if you if you know, um, there's a lot of mechanics that are in the game but unused, where it was intended for you to solve dungeons and do puzzles as both young and adult Link, and that's why you have things like the silver scale and the gold scale for young Link, even because in the game as it is, there's no reason to get the gold scale. Or the ice arrows, by the way. I would love, if for one thing, just to have a use for the ice arrows. So they're not just like a novelty, like, oh, cool, things freeze. Haha. And it doesn't actually do anything other than, shoot things. It can shoot the little blade traps and freeze them. That's pretty cool. Haha, pun intended. But having an actual use for the ice arrows, like maybe it opens up a certain place in like Hylia or something. But yeah, young and adult Link puzzles. So, like, the time blocks, you play the Song of Time and the block disappears. It doesn't just vanish. It In the game you can see it reload in the same version of the map, but for young Link. Um, if you go to Goron Village, you might know where I'm talking about. There's that spot where you need to use the Song of Time and the hook shot to get across. That's like the only puzzle that still works in the game that would let you know that you needed to do both. So you play the Song of Time to get your block in place, and then you can use the hook shot. That's like one example. So getting back to something like that with like more complicated puzzles, and you had to switch back and forth between young and adult Link, would be great. Getting into the realm of like never gonna happen unless like 80% chance this isn't gonna happen, but I would like to see them fix the economy of Hyrule. And it's probably going to be a hot take and nobody's going to like this, but it's going to be that like hearts and rupees don't just, show up when you cut grass and break jars. Like maybe they show up once in a great while, but I would like to see them not show up, so that you are forced to use like bottles for potions, and you have to go to the store to buy bombs and arrows and materials that you need before you venture out into the world, so that you actually have a use for rupees, and also so that a chest full of rupees actually feels like a reward, other than like, oh cool, there's a purple rupee that's worth $50. Too bad I'm already maxed out on my wallet because there's nothing to buy. I think you could do a lot of interesting things with the economy in Ocarina of Time if you take away the free stuff in the grass. Because that also would fix the Skulltula side quest. And yes, that is the correct way to say that. It's not Skulltula. It's the end of the word tarantula, so it's Skulltula. I will hear no criticisms about this. But yeah, if you take away the free stuff, and you replace the gold Skulltula rewards with like bigger wallet upgrades, a song to summon like a Deku scrub, so that even if you can't find one in a grotto somewhere, you can at least get a generic one that sells most of the stuff you'll need. It also makes like knowing all the hiding spots, like fairy fountains and where Deku Scrubs merchants are, really valuable, rather than just like an inconvenience. Like, oh, I hope there's a heart piece in here. Oh, it's just a Deku Scrub? Nah, I don't need any of that. So it would be a huge change. I don't think they'll go for it because you're supposed to cut the grass and get hearts and rupees and bombs and arrows and magic. And but for me personally, I think it would be a big improvement to stop giving away freebies and have you spend your rupees to get that stuff. Let's see here. I'm betting on Revent. No, we read that. My fear as a Pokemon fan is that Nintendo has a track record of not putting in anything that anybody on the internet came up with first. People have had 30 years to come up with ideas, and I feel like Nintendo won't do any of them because they're worried of being accused of copying. That is a very valid fear. Yeah, me making this video, Nintendo, I know you're watching. So feel free to steal my ideas. I don't care. I won't sue you. Unless. No, I don't have the means to come after you. But it is very true that Nintendo has a track record of staunchly sticking to their guns and their idea of what a game should be, and like disregarding like 99% of feedback. Like they'll listen if people like it or not, but once they're like, we got an idea for a game and we know how we want it to be, that's it. Like Pokemon is this. It is a turn-based strategy that works like this. We're gonna ask you if we're not gonna ask you if you want to learn how to catch a Pokemon. We're going to teach you every time. And so, yeah, they are very rooted in that, where, you know, we do this the Nintendo way, what we say goes. So yeah, I recognize that Wizard stand, and I'm making this wish list knowing full well they're not going to do it, and I'm premising it like this is most likely not going to happen. But since we're talking about the remake, I thought I'd throw in my 2 cents for my wish list, but it's but a dream. But yeah, mostly just like cleaning up the lore a little bit, addressing like the timeline split, and maybe a couple of quality of life things. Mostly just more stuff to do in Hyrule Field and, you know, the other places. Do we know if it's getting a Switch 1 port? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think it's just gonna be Switch 2. Let's see here. Will Ocarina of Time remake be on Switch 1? Nope. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time will not be on the original Switch. Nintendo has confirmed that the remake is an exclusive title built for the newer Nintendo Switch 2, scheduled for release 2026. Exclusively Switch 2. That was dangerous. I shouldn't click links like that when I'm sharing my screen on Twitch. So yeah, if you want to play the remake, you gotta get a Switch 2. Yeah. I'm still not convinced that I'm going to get it right away. I'm going to get it, but I really don't want to. Like, I just want to get it for my Switch 1. Mark, gotta limit the distribution. Less likely for people to post plot spoilers that way. Yeah. Wouldn't want to spoil this game that's been out for 30 years. You know what's crazy about Nintendo too is that they are still charging like through the nose for this game we've already bought. You know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to play Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64, like you still have to pay for that. They just won't let it go for free. They know what they have, and they're going to charge you for it. It's ridiculous. Anyway. What you doing? Hey, Kookaburra. Not much. What you doing? We're just nerding out about Zelda theories and lore, and now we're kind of migrated on to speculation about the Ocarina of Time remake that's coming out later this year. Perhaps you've heard of it. Made a big to-do on the internet. It's probably just going to be about an HD remake. It's just going to get a new coat of paint, probably. But we're daring to dream a little bit. I'm just nerding out about Zelda theories and lore. Oh my gosh, I'm in the right place. Kookaburra, are you excited for the remake? Do you have theories and a wish list? Voice acting would be nice too. Yeah, it did seem like voice acting is on the list of things that will be in the game most likely. I would be, but they still can't get me to buy a Switch 2. Yeah, that's my big hang up too. Also, I should say, is that I have no other reason to buy a Switch 2. It would be just for the Ocarina remake. There's like nothing else that I would even be looking for to play on the Switch. And yeah, so it's got me hesitating. But yeah, what can I say? I still can't help looking at it. It's so shiny. Uh-huh. Yeah, Kookaburra, how have you been? Are you going to get back into streaming too? I've been absent for quite a while, and I felt the itch today, but I wanted to just make this video where I talk about Zelda a lot. But are you, or Wizard, or Sam, or Shadow, or any of you, like, streaming soon you want to talk about? Wizard Stan says, Mario Kart World slaps, not enough to sell the Switch 2, but if you were getting it anyway, it's a nice perk, yeah. The new Mario Kart looks quite good, quite good. But yeah, it's not enough to get me to buy a Switch 2. I mean, I keep telling myself I want to, but I'm also tapped out of time all the time. It's depressing. I can relate. I feel for you, my friend. It is depressing to have all of your time already scheduled out or used up. Sam will be jumping back into it a lot more. He did a soft reset over the last 2 weeks, and starting next week, we'll be getting back into it a lot more. Yay, Sam! Sam's on Twitch, everybody. SoupCanSam2841 if you are a fan of good quality content and good times with lots of yucks and laughs and guffaws. Speaking of which, in preparation for the remake coming out, I need you and Real Wizards Hand to be ready to play through Four Swords soon. We did talk about that, it's true. We need to resume our conquest of all of the Zelda timeline. It is still a goal of mine to play all of the Zelda games on stream. What is on that checklist? I've done 1 and 2. I've played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. Very soon, likely sometime, name the date. Next month. Well, next month is just next week, so could be soon. So I still need to play Link's Awakening. I mean, I played Link's Awakening on stream. And I need to play A Link to the Past and the Oracle games. Again, I played the Oracle games, just not on stream. Is Shadow of the Colossus a Zelda game? I haven't complimented the music yet, but the vibes here are immaculate. Thank you. Yeah, I have said that I was gonna play Shadow of the Colossus too. I should throw that on here and bust that out one of these nights. Or it might take more than one night, but we could play Shadow of the Colossus. It's been a while. I would love to play Shadow of the Colossus again. I usually revisit that every once in a great while, and it has been a great while. I need to play Shadow of the Colossus again. I really only need one more stream to finish up Minish Cap. Yeah, finish the Minish Cap. Gotta go save the world from Vati. I need to play Minish Cap and the other handhelds. I need to play Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass. There it is. Took me a minute. And of course, everybody wants me to play Skyward Sword too, so that I can finally justify how much I rag on it. Because apparently my opinions of the game are not valid until I've actually played the game. You really only need one more. Yeah, I read that. Yeah, so I gotta play Skyward Sword. That one might be next for the whole Zelda playthrough. But I haven't decided yet. It depends on if I play this remake. Wizard Stan, I'm also the DS Zelda's top defender. They slap so hard and I will not accept dissent. Do you need a copy to borrow? Perhaps. We shall see. I will talk to you off stream in person, perhaps on the morrow. But nothing's certain yet because I got a whole bunch of promises to keep. Like I gotta play Skyward Sword, and I gotta play Shadow of the Colossus, and I gotta finish playing Sonic Adventure 2 with Alec because we didn't finish that yet, and he's been asking when we can stream again. And I'm busy is not going to be a valid excuse here in the next week or so. So I will let you know what is coming down the pipeline. Let's see. Now we're talking about channel updates. That's all we're doing here now. I should. And if I were a real streamer and really got after this, I would make like a Discord community where we could talk about this stuff, so I wouldn't have to just, blindly stream one day and hope people show up, and just let you guys know when things are gonna happen and do like a schedule. Been thinking about streaming more and getting into it, but it's a scary thing to do because then I have to, allot time and planning and take it seriously instead of just playing video games for fun when I feel like it. Nothing wrong with that. No, you don't. No, I don't. What? Just go live. Oh, okay. Push the button. That's what I normally do. I'm doing it. Kookaburra, stop bullying me. I'm doing it. You're the streamer. Ta-da! Yes. No, I am capable of doing this. It's not that I am scared to go live, and I've done many streams where nobody shows up and it was fine and fun. I just mean like taking it seriously to like build a community. You know what I mean? So hear me out. What if, say, a couple of streamers, each other, rather than having our own separate Discords, come together to combine them into one and then help manage it together? But perhaps, because that's fine and good while we're like all. I mean, like, if I get really after it, I want it to be my community, right? Like we can share, but if we build it where we're interlocked together, then can we ever be our own streamer, or are we just like, the Try Guys, and and we have no identity outside of each other? You know what I mean? We're not getting into this now. I was just speculating about dreams of being a big shot streamer and doing this full time. You cannot have a star. What is happening? But then who's the star? You can't have a star. It will be a constellation made up of many stars. That's fun. I also want my own Discord server. You know what I mean? You're not a constellation, then you are weak. Weak! No, I would love to have a combined community Discord, but yeah, I would. We're dreaming, we're speculating. We wanna dream big, and yeah, that would like to be in charge of my own Discord, and also collaborate with my friends. Okay, wow, Kookaburra, I see how it is. My Discord server is gonna kick your Discord server's butt. You guys are silly. Wonderful. I should, probably within the realm of possibility, what I should do is come up with some emotes. People on Twitch go crazy for little emotes to put in chat. That would be fun, right? My Discord server's dad is richer than our Discord server's dad. thing that's supposed to be, my dad is richer than your Discord servers, Dad. Y'all are goobers. Yeah, keyboards, they are a lot of fun to try to wrestle with. I ordered a new one. It's going to take some time. I liked this stream, by the way. It was a lot of fun. I would like to do more like this, where it's just like chatting, which also makes me want to make more emotes and redeems. Like, I have to fix some things. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like a bunch of the redeems don't work because the program I was using for like time warp and the stuff that like affects my camera like is either like not supported or I removed it and then didn't remember. But yeah, so don't do like time warp or anything because it won't do anything right now. So yeah. Did somebody subscribe? Hello? I remembered we were at 2. I told you it's not gonna work. But yeah, like see there's no sound effect or anything. So let me redeem those for you. What did he say? I was scrolling through redeems. I just got a stream deck and I'm super excited. That's exciting, Sam. Get yourself a nice stream deck. Yeah, I knew people were going to try to redeem some of those, but yeah, they won't work right now. Like some of the sound effect ones will, but anything that does anything funky with the camera will not. Won't need to be an OBS or my audio mixer. I can just go through my stream deck now. Nice. Okay, so this was the Ocarina of Time, not Ocarina of Time, the Zelda timeline video, and hopefully I can remember to work on it and now record it or edit it into a single video to upload. But I hope this was fun. We need now to come up with a new goal for the channel for people to burn all their brain cells on. Does anyone present have any ideas of what would be a fun goal to work towards as a channel? I really liked the having multiple goals and letting people vote for which one they wanted more. But so if we have multiple goals, we can do that. But if there's something we want to do, I'll just redeem nothing 7,900 times. Don't worry. Okay, Sam, stop. No, Sam, no. Do a goal where you set a goal. Okay. What should our goal to set a goal be about? Of course it has a cooldown. You think I want you to waste all of your points like this? Even if it is just one at a time? I'm not refunding those, by the way. I'm going to earn points faster than I can spend them. Let's see. A chat determined... Oh, you know, like one of those games where chat has an input on what I do, like peek, but chat can like throw stuff at me or make it harder, or deciding which game we play next, or what are other good channel goals that are going around these days? Have you seen Comedy Night? Comedy Night? What's that? I'm also gonna switch to this. We're done with Ocarina Time. Hello, it's your boy in the big camera. You could troll around comedy night until you come up with a set. That could be a goal. Like, just come up with stand-up? Is that what you're talking about, Kookaburra? I mean, Yerp? You want me to just be like, so the other day... Oh my gosh, I have to talk about my life now. Oh no. My life is boring. That relatable moment where you try to make a comedy stand-up bit about your life, but then you just realize you're a middle-of-the-road milquetoast white vanilla guy in his 30s. That relatable moment. So the other day I was making a Zelda video, and the punchline at the end is that I disproved my own theory. But yeah, right at the end I was like, I don't know how this works. Yes, exactly, but with effective jokes. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can make these more effective. That one has potential. Okay. What do you get when a drum set crashes into a snake? Badumts. Now give it any content at all. Okay. Here we got more jokes for you guys. Like jokes. Here we go. Did you hear about the guy that was kidnapped by mimes? They did unspeakable things to him. Oh my gosh. Now do that on comedy night. Okay. It's comedy night now. How y'all doing? Good? This guy knows what's up. How you doing tonight, sir? I can relate. Mark, I actually was watching a stream where the chat went crazy with dad jokes. It was so funny. But now I can't recall them. Maybe I can recall some of the ones I gave. It was also a little bit more of an edgy stream, and I'm not sure my stream I want it to go that far. Because I know kids that watch this show, all right? So trying to keep it above the belt, shall we say. Keep it pretty clean. And that's hard to do sometimes. Man, when I was just on my phone tapping into chat, I had a million dad jokes, and now that I'm on the spot, like I'm completely locking up. Belly button jokes, yeah, above the belt. You get it. Oh, okay. Did I tell you guys about when I was addicted to soap? It's okay, I'm clean now. Yeah, although I do have a little bit of a problem still. I'm addicted to brake fluid, but I can stop whenever I want. I love those jokes. They're so funny. Yuck, 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 yuck. I need to stop giving them away for free. That needs to be a channel goal. Is that the goal then? We want to do a comedy night? Is that what you want? I need every single person in this chat to confirm that is what they want. Otherwise, I'm not going to put it up. You can't make me. I don't want to be the funny guy on comedy. You can't make me. It's not what I want at all. Stand-up comedy? Or, you know, sitting down, whatever. It's just like a comedy night. That's what it's going to turn into me. It's just going to be me stimming as I make sound effects. Oh, real quick on the remake. I'm not so sure I want them to change the sound effects. Those are kind of like ingrained into my brain. I don't know what I would do if they updated those. But yeah, a comedy night sounds like a worthy goal. Could be worse. We could be stuck in the audience. Oh my gosh. This isn't monetized, right? We could just pull stuff up, right? We've already watched so many videos. Did you catch that streamer the other night? No, it was awful. It made me want to go upstream. No. Salmon. Lel. La 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 la. Oh god. Being on the spot for jokes. It's not something I have encountered in quite a while. Did you... so lame. Do you know why cows are always out becoming college professors? It's because they're outstanding in their fields. Write them down. No on the spot required. I know. That's the goal, right? To actually prepare for a comedy night so that it's good. I hope you liked that last cow joke. I know the cows did. When they're out in the field, they're utterly tickled. Goobers, all of you. Bunch of funny, silly little gremlins. Making me pull out dusty old dad jokes. Do you guys know if you're allowed to get mad if you trip in your driveway? You can't. That's your own asphalt. Oh. Okay. I am... That's that one got me good. You good? Man walks into a bar with a slab of asphalt under his arm and he says, "A beer for me and one for the road." Asphalt humor. Get your asphalt humor. Piping hot asphalt humor. Get it here. I think we're gonna start wrapping things up now, but I guess the comedy night is the next channel goal. Yeah, did not see that coming, but it sounds like a good idea. I want to do it. I just require the correct motivation. So we're gonna have you guys throw your brain cells at it until it becomes real. And now I know how many points Sam has, so I can adjust the goal to be high enough that he can't just finance it by himself. Don't move on yet. I have to sit through some ads. Oh, ads. Can I pause those? Sub chat only. Sound alerts. Manage polls. Stream together. Raid channel. Twitch clip. I know some other chat streamers were able to pause their ads. I'm not sure how. Okay, let me know when you're back. Are you back yet? Are you back yet? Are you back yet? Are you back yet? Okay, here's the one I was cooking up with before Twitch forced me into capitalism. Slavery for 2 minutes. I'm starting band to try to keep 80s rap music fresh. It'll be called Saran Rap. Saran Rap. That's a good one. Oh, if you guys have any dad jokes, any groaners, put them in the chat. I would love to hear some good jokes before we wrap up. Kookaburra reminded me one of though. You know why I shower with Windex? It's to keep me from streaking. It's a good one. Ooh, that is a good one. Also, I think we're still really delayed. Can I get rid of so that you're clearly clean? Yes, I'm clearly clean. I don't know how delayed we are on the chat. I wonder if I can make it more snappy. I don't know. I can't mess with it too much tonight. I'm sending this now. Okay. Hopefully that was a good test for when I said it. How long that took for you. How delayed was it? I read it as soon as it showed up on screen. Low latency mode is a thing. I know it's a thing. It's not in my quick buttons, so I don't know where it is though, because I'm a bad streamer. I don't know how to do this. I'm just a little guy. Streaming tools, perhaps? No. Not that at all. Content, community. Just stop recording. Oh, great heavens. My. You scared me. Goodness gracious. That one's working. Sam? I hope it was worth it. Feel better now? So what are we at now for you? 7,500 points? Something like that. Maybe made a couple while sitting here watching. 700? 7.6? Thereabout. Alright, I've got to call it a night. Have a good one. And yes, I feel great now at 7.6. 7.6. Alright. Yeah, we're getting ready to just call it a stream here now too. So thank you all for listening to my mad ramblings and geeking out about Zelda. I wish you all a good night, and yeah, take her easy, get some good sleep, dream good dreams, and carry on bravely. Goodbye now. I wish I need an ending card too.